Recording. Okay.
It's a great picture, right?
Siman Ayin Ches, Hilchos Kriya Sefer Torah, b'Shabbos. To reading the Sefer Torah on Shabbos, v'Yom Tov, v'Chiyuvim and the Chiyuvim. Right? It's interesting because then he just starts. He starts with he goes straight to Haisafas, right? So Kishem is Aleph. Kishem Mesifim b'Shabbos Yichon Likris Kayin Levi Achron. When you're adding Aliyas on Shabbos, so then you're able to call up a Kayin or Levi as the Achron. Kivan Shekvar Shlimu Zayin Gavri. Since you already called up seven, which is the first is Kayin, second is a Levi, and then Yisrael. V'gam Shehu Achron me'ikar Akruim, and the Achron is from the Ikar of the Aliyas, Chutz min Maftir, except for Maftir. You can call up a Kayin Levi for Maftir, but Filu Kayin Echad LaAchron, Kayin Echad LaMaftir Yichel Likris, and even one Kayin for Achron, and a Kayin for Maftir. That's also Kivan Shah Kaddish Maftir B'Neim, since it's a Kaddish. Meaning normally we don't call up two Kahanim in a row because it looks bad on the first Kayin, because of the first Kayin gets an Aliyah, and then you give another Kayin, sounds like it seems like the first Kayin was no good. But when there's a separation, that's fine. Same thing with when you have two brothers or father and a son. So many say when there's a Kaddish in between, then it's okay. I don't know if it's exactly comparable, but fine. There you can call up count for all three. Since each one's eating its own Sefer Torah. But Rosh Chodesh Teves falls on Shabbos, which is also three Sefer Torah. Gimel Sefer Torah. Even though we also call you take out three Sefer Torah. If you write some licorice to Sefer Torah Rishon Ches Gavri, even if you want to call up in the Sefer Torah Rishon 8 Gavri, Ein Rishon licorice Lakayin Shiyashmini. There you cannot call the Kayin off of the 8th. Kivan Shadayin Ein Mashlim and Akriya B'Sefer Zeh, since you didn't finish using that Sefer Torah. Mashlim who B'Sefer Sheni, the one that finishes the Aliyahs, is in the Sefer Sheni, Shekayin by Parshas Rosh Chodesh. Fazichan Lekroy say, then you could call him up. Right? Meaning, when you have 3 days Rosh Chodesh, okay, I don't know if it's when you have 3 Sifrei Torah, when Rosh Chodesh Chanukah, when Rosh Chodesh falls out on Chanukah, right? So the first 6 Aliyahs is the first Sefer Torah, but you didn't finish the 7th. So you have to go, that goes with the Rosh Chodesh. So you can't call up a Kayin. Those are also the 2 other times when you have 3 Sifrei Torah. Let's say if they called up a Kayin or a Levi for the 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th Aliyah. So you call somebody else who Yamtin Eitzel Latev, and the Kayin sits there, and he goes up for Mafta Achron, because if the Kayin sits back down, then it really looks bad, right? So that's La'achron and Yinakruim. You call him up for Maftir or Achron, which is after the base or Aliyahs are done. Gimel Shabbos Shtei Stories, and the Shabbos that you have double parsha, as we call it, Yesh Chabar Stories Ima'ela Revi. You're supposed to connect the first parsha with the second parsha by the Revi, which is what we do. Why? I'm not sure. Now it just goes through a bunch of times when the Balkaira changes his voice. You don't make a hefsek, meaning you don't break it up for the Aliyahs. And you should make a pasuk before also, because you don't want to start off with negative. But you're also not allowed to start an aliyah within 3 psukim of a parsha, meaning of a pei or a samach. So therefore you have to start 3 psukim before. And at the end, you need at least 1 pasuk. You should make sure you shouldn't finish from the 3 psukim from the beginning of the parsha. The parshas Kisisa Karanim Levi Kol Parshas Ha'egel. So Levi, the reason why Parshas Kisisa, half the parsha, if not more, is the first 2 aliyahs, is because the Levi, you want him to get the whole you read for the late because the Levium didn't do the Egel, so they get the whole parsha. Adam Masharsa Yeshua. Vatam Kibnei Levi Lahayavasiyas Egel. They weren't by the Asiyas Egel. And Oigan Likras Bakal Namach, and the minig is to read with a low voice. Min Vayitin al Moshe Kahaloisa Ad Vayachal Moshe. Kashamasal Vayachal Chayza Vakar Bakal Ram Ad Vayifen Vayir and Moshe. I don't know. As far as I know, we don't do this. That the Balkara reads low. The Klolos, yes. But I don't know about anything else. He goes back to the low voice. You also read it in a low voice. As a pasuk is a chartius bisi Yaakov karim b'kol ram. That's low. That we do. Arasayf until the end. Parshas Kisavai, Liras Hashem Hanichpad. Right? That's also the Parshas Kisavai talks about the punishments. So Ad Saif Hapasim we call Ram, Vachakach Namach Ad Vein Kaina. Gam Parshas Baalais Lenoigan Likras Bekol Namach. Min Vayhiyam Kimis Einim Ad Vaman Kizragad. That's when Klaiso was complaining. Batam Laharashem Mischartim. And the reason why we do that is to show that they had charata over the averos that they did. You need to at least have the voice heard by the tzibur. Meaning the balkaira. When you say low, the people still have to hear the balkaira. Fine. Membeis Masoy Parshas Eila Maseh, the 42 travels. Ein lahafsik behem. Don't stop. Shuneged Shem Membeis. That's the Hashem's name that has 42 names to it. Hey, Ben Gavra Legavra Tzrichim Legala is the Sefer Torah. Ben Gavra Legavra, you need to roll the Sefer Torah, meaning do not leave the Sefer Torah open in between aliyahs. Ben Tzrichim Lachasaysa, but you don't need to cover it with the cover of the Sefer Torah. Ach Koydem Mafter, but before Mafter, Shoyim Kaddish V'yesh Man Aruch, that you say Kaddish and there's a long time, the long break, then you should cover it with its cover. If you have any long breaks, you have to cover the Sefer Torah. Also, you have to cover. If you make a mistake on Shabbos, and you finish with the 6th aliyah, finished up the parsha, lo yemer kaddish, and don't say kaddish. Meaning even though normally you say kaddish at the end of the parsha, but here you don't because you only had 6 aliyahs. You just do maftir, and that'll be from the 7. And after you do the haftarah with the brachas, then say kaddish. Yomtiv, you make the mistake in the 4th aliyah until the end, lo yomer kaddish, because on Yomtiv you get 5 aliyahs. So if you finish the parsha with 4, don't say kaddish. El yikra miyadas al maftir l'sefer Torah shniya. Then you read the maftir l'sefer Torah shniya v'achrei haftarah v'brachas yomer kaddish. Then you say kaddish. Zayin k'shatzvin like to shloisha sifrei Torah. When you want to take out 3 sifrei Torah, ve'en lam el shnayim, you only have 2. You don't roll the second Torah to what you need to in the 3rd. You should take the first Sefer Torah to go to read the 3rd part. Meaning you use the first Sefer Torah, then do Hag ben Galila, then the second Sefer Torah, Hag ben Galila, and then go back to the first. All right?
Even if it's close by?
I don't know. I'm not sure.
You had the Shaila at one of the Parshas.
Yeah, I'm not sure. All right. Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure what you would do in that case. Okay, this is for Gaboyim, this part of the Siman. And tomorrow's too. But okay, fine. We will stop over there.
Good night.
Have a fine night.